Hello guys, welcome back to another Android tutorial. Today we are going to learn about how to add a collapsing toolbar to your Android application. Here is a simple example of collapsing toolbar. So when you scroll up the recycler view, you can see the toolbar disappear, and when you scroll down, the toolbar appear again. This is called a collapsing toolbar. So here each item on the recycler view is represented using a card view, and each card view contains some image views. So now I'm going to make this application. Open Android Studio and start a new Android Studio project. Specify your application name. I name it as collapsing toolbar. Select an empty activity. Okay, now the Android Studio project is ready. Now there is only one text view is available. I just remove that text view. Now there is a default action bar is available. For this application, there is no need of an action bar. Instead of this action bar, we are going to use a toolbar. So the first step, we need to remove the default action bar from the application. So open a resource folder, open values folder, open styles.xml. Now here I'm going to make some simple changes on the current theme of the application. Now instead of dark action bar, I'm going to apply no action bar. This will simply remove the default action bar from the application. Okay, now the action bar is gone. Now here we need some images. Need to add some images to this application. So here I have some images. I copy all these images. Now put it inside the drawable folder. Now all the images are available inside the drawable folder. Now there is a recycler view, and the recycler view contains some card views. So the recycler view and card views are material widgets. So you need to add the appropriate dependency in your Android application. So open the Gradle script file. Now here you need to add the needed dependency. So first I'm going to add the dependency for using a recycler view. Now we need to use a card view. So add the dependency for using a card view. Now we made some changes inside the Gradle script file, so you have to make a project sync. Okay, now the project sync finishes. So first we can set up the recycler view. After that we can add the toolbar and make it collapsible. So here the recycler, each item of the recycler view is a card view, and the card view contains some image view. So we have to create a separate layout file for each of these items. So open a resource folder, right click the layout folder and create a new layout resource file. I name it as raw layout, and here the root element is a card view, not a calendar view, it is a card view, and click OK. Okay, now the new layout is created. So now here I am going to change the width and height of this layout. I change width into 200 dp and height also 200 dp. Here we need some additional XML namespace. So I copy this namespace, change this one into app. Here also change this one into resource auto. Now specify an elevation for the card view. We need an elevation of 3 dp. Now we have to specify some radius, corner radius. So you have to use the newly created XML namespace. So card corner radius into 6 dp. Now within this card view we have to add some image view. So here I add an image view. Specify the width as match parent, height also match parent. Specify an ID for the image view. I name it as album. Now for checking this image view, just select an image from the drawable folder. Here is a preview. Now we have to adjust the image. So Android scale type. Here I'm going to use fit X and Y direction. Now specify some margin. So using the padding attribute, I need a 6 dp margin. Okay, so this layout represents each of the item on the recycler view. Now go to activity main.xml. Now there is nothing. Just remove the margins. Now here simply add a recycler view. Specify the width into match parent, height also match parent. Now specify an ID for the recycler view. I name it as a recycler view. Now we have to create some Java class. So create a new Java class with the class name album. Create some variables, private int img image id. Now create getter and setter method for this variable. Select getter and setter method. Now for this class create a constructor. For this constructor we need one parameter. It is an integer img id. Now from the constructor call the setter method. Set image id and pass the parameter img id. Now we have to create an adapter for the recycler view. So right click the package and create another Java class. Specify the class name. I name it as recycler adapter. And this class extends adapter. You need to implement some methods. Now first we have to create the view holder class. I name it as my view holder, and that extends view holder. And for this class it needs some constructor. It needs a constructor matching super. Okay, now for this class we have to change the generic type. Here the generic type is the view holder, and for this method here the return type is an object of view holder class. Here the view holder class is my view holder. For this method the first parameter is an object of view holder class. Now within the view holder, here I am going to create some variables for image view. Now I am going to initialize that image view from the constructor of this class. So we can use the parameter item view. So image view, first typecast that one into image view. Now by using the item view we can find it. Find the view by id, r.id dot. Here the id is album. Now here I'm going to create some array list. The array list contains some object of the album class, and initialize that array list from here. Now we need some constructor for this class. And for this constructor we need a parameter that is an array list that contains some object of album class. Now we can initialize the array list. Now we have to do something in the onCreateViewHolder method. So here create some view variable by using the layout inflator and use the method called from. Now use the view group parameter parent.getContext. Now inflate the layout. Here each item is represented by using the layout called row layout. Now specify the view group parent, and there is one more argument, one more parameter that is a boolean. Just use false for it. So from this method we have to return an object of view holder class. So from here we need to return an object of my view holder class. So new my view holder and pass the view argument. Now we need to do something in the onBindViewHolder method. So holder.imageView.setImageResource. Now get each of the object from the array list. Array list.get and pass the position, and get the image ID by using the getter method. Okay, so now the adapter is ready. Now go to main_activity.java. Here we need to declare some variables. Declare a variable for RecyclerView. Now we need an adapter for the RecyclerView. I name it as adapter. Now we need some layout manager for the RecyclerView, and here we need an array list that contains some object of the album class. Initialize that array list from here. Okay, now here I add another variable. It is an integer array that contains the resource ID of all the images available in the drawable folder. Okay, now we can initialize the variables. First one, we can initialize the RecyclerView. First typecast that one into RecyclerView. Now find it. Now initialize the layout manager for RecyclerView. So here the layout manager is a grid layout manager. So each row contain 2 items. So here the layout manager is a grid layout manager. Now specify the number of items on each row. Here we need only 2 items. Now set the layout manager for the RecyclerView. To improve the performance of the RecyclerView, we have to set has fixed size into true. This will improve the performance of the RecyclerView. Okay, now we need to prepare the adapter. For that, here just start a for each loop, it, and initialize this loop with variable with that integer array imgit. So now we have to create some object of the album class, and we have to add each of that object to the array list. So array list dot add. Now specify the object of the album class, new album, and pass the each of the id. And finally we can initialize the adapter. So adapter equal to new recycler adapter and pass the array list. Now set the adapter for the RecyclerView. Okay, now the RecyclerView is ready. Now we can check it. Now run the application. Select a virtual device. Oh, it's not working. There is something wrong. We need to check the adapter. Yeah, from this method, from the get item count method, we need to return the size of the array list. That is the mistake. So we can check it again. Okay, now the RecyclerView is ready. The list is ready now. Okay, now we need to add the toolbar and make it collapsible. That is the next step. So here we remove the default action bar available with this application. Instead of that action bar, we have to add a toolbar. So here I am going to create a separate layout file for the toolbar. I name it as toolbar layout, and here the root element is a toolbar. Here also we need an additional namespace, XML namespace. So I just copy this one and change this one into app. Here also you need to change this one into resource auto. Now here change the height into action bar size. Okay, now specify the background for the toolbar. Here the background is color primary. Now specify the theme for the toolbar. So use the newly created namespace. Theme overlay up combat.dark. Okay, so now the toolbar is ready. One more thing, we have to add an ID for the toolbar as toolbar. Okay, now the toolbar layout is ready. Now we need to add this toolbar to the activity main layout file. So here we need to add a coordinator layout and an app bar layout. So for that you need to add some dependency. So open the Gradle script file. Here you need to add an additional dependency. You need to add the design dependency. Now make a project sync. Okay, now the project sync finishes. Now go to activity main.xml. Now here I am going to change the root element into a coordinator layout. Now before the recycler view we need to add the toolbar. So here I am going to add an app bar layout. Specify the width as match parent, height into wrap content. Now within the app bar layout we can insert the toolbar. So include the toolbar layout here. It is toolbar layout. Okay, now the toolbar available inside activity main.xml. Okay, now we need to make the toolbar scrollable. So for that go to toolbar layout. Here you need to add an additional XML attribute called layout scroll flags. Specify value scroll or enter always. This statement make the toolbar scrollable, that means collapsible. So when you scroll down the toolbar appear, and when you scroll up it will disappear. So now we can test the application. So run it. Okay, now the toolbar is available. So when I scroll up the toolbar disappear, and when I scroll down the toolbar appear again. Okay, now there is no project title on the toolbar. So go to main activity. Here create some variables for toolbar. Name it as toolbar. Now initialize that variable. Typecast that one into toolbar. Now find it. Now set supported action bar into toolbar. Now run it again. Okay, now the title is available. So this is how we add a collapsing toolbar into your Android application. I hope you understand the concepts. Please subscribe my channel for getting more Android video updates.